William Harrison stood frozen, staring at a letter that would shatter his world. "I am your daughter," it read, "the homeless girl you helped 6 months ago." The richest man in Abuja had just discovered his own child had been living on the streets while he counted money in his tower. A powerful story of a father and daughter who found each other when hope seemed lost. Don't skip a single moment. I promise you will be moved by this incredible journey. Hi, my beautiful family. May the Almighty bless every parent with the wisdom to see their children's hearts and every child with the strength to forgive the past. May He protect the families torn apart by life's storms and bring them back together with love stronger than before. May no parent ever stop believing in second chances and no child ever stop hoping for home. Because in God's eyes, every family can be made whole again. My precious family, never forget that true wealth comes not from money in the bank, but from the love we share with those who matter most. Without family, success has no meaning, riches have no purpose, and the heart has no home. Sometimes the people we're searching for are closer than we think, waiting for us to open our eyes and see with our hearts. My channel is dying because many of you don't get notifications. Please just like and comment. It takes only 2 seconds, but gives me strength and keeps this family alive. Every story I bring is written with love and respect for you. Stay with me until the end, because your trust is my hope and your loyalty is my power. If your heart is ready for this journey, type, "I am here." William stood frozen in his office, staring at the letter in his shaking hands. The words on the paper seemed impossible, like something from a dream. "I am your daughter," it said in simple handwriting. "The homeless girl you helped 6 months ago." His heart pounded so hard he could barely breathe. How could this be real? The street girl he had given money to was his own child, but that was impossible. He had no children, or did he? The letter fell from his fingers as memories crashed through his mind like ocean waves. 6 months ago, on that cold December night, he had seen her sitting alone on the street corner. Something about her eyes had made him stop his car. Something familiar, something that now made his whole world spin upside down. What had she discovered? How did she know? And most importantly, what did she want from him now? But let me tell you how this all began, because the story you're about to hear will change everything you think you know about family, love, and second chances. William Harrison was not like other rich men. While most billionaires lived in fancy houses with gold doors and diamond windows, William lived alone in a tall, cold building that touched the clouds. He owned the biggest company in all of America, making cars that could drive themselves and phones that could think like people. Everyone in the city knew his name. Everyone feared him too. You see, William was known for having a heart made of ice. He never smiled at his workers. He never said thank you or please. When people asked him for help, he would look at them with eyes as cold as winter snow and say no. The newspapers called him the Iron King because nothing could make him feel sorry for anyone. But William had not always been this way. Many years ago, when he was young like you, he had been poor too. He lived in a small house with his mother, who worked 3 jobs just to buy food. She would wake up before the sun came up and come home after the stars appeared in the sky. But she always hugged William tight and told him, "One day, my sweet boy, you will be so successful that you can help everyone who needs it." When William turned 18, his mother got very sick. The doctors needed lots of money to make her better, but William had no money to give them. He watched his mother get weaker and weaker every day. He promised her he would become rich so that no one would ever have to suffer like she did, but his mother died before he could save her. That day, William's heart broke into 1,000,000 pieces. He decided that caring about people only brought pain, so he worked day and night, never stopping, never resting, until he became the richest man in the country. But along the way, he forgot about his promise to help others. He forgot about love. He forgot about kindness. All he remembered was work, work, work. For 20 years, William lived this way. He had everything money could buy: fast cars, private airplanes, houses in every city. But he had no friends. He had no family. He ate dinner alone every night in his big, empty apartment high above the city lights. The people who worked for him were scared to talk to him. They called him Mr. Harrison and looked at the ground when he walked by. William told himself he didn't need anyone. He told himself that being alone was better than being hurt again. But deep in his heart, where he kept all his feelings locked away, William was very lonely. Sometimes at night, he would stand by his big windows and look down at all the people walking on the streets below. They looked like tiny ants from so high up. He wondered what it would feel like to be down there with them, laughing and talking and holding hands with someone who cared about him. One cold December evening, something happened that would change William's life forever. He was working late in his office, like he did every night. The snow was falling outside his window like tiny white feathers. His assistant, Mrs. Johnson, knocked on his door. "Mr. Harrison," she said quietly, "your car is ready to take you home." William looked at the clock. It was almost midnight. He had been working for 16 hours straight, but he didn't feel tired. Work was the only thing that kept his mind busy, so he wouldn't think about how empty his life was. He put on his long black coat and rode the elevator down to the street. His driver, Tom, was waiting with the warm car running. Tom had worked for William for 5 years, but William had never asked him about his family or even said good morning. "Home, Mr. Harrison?" Tom asked, like he did every night. "Yes," William answered, not looking up from his phone. As the car drove through the snowy streets, William saw all the Christmas lights twinkling on the buildings. Families were walking together, carrying shopping bags full of presents. Children were laughing and running ahead of their parents, trying to catch snowflakes on their tongues. William felt something strange in his chest. It was like a tiny crack in his icy heart, but he quickly pushed the feeling away. Christmas was just another day to him. Just another day to make more money. But then, as the car stopped at a red light, William saw something that made him look up from his phone. On the corner of the street, sitting on a piece of cardboard, was a young girl. She looked about 16 years old, with long brown hair that was dirty and messy from living outside. She was wearing a thin jacket that had holes in it, and her shoes had no laces. What made William stare was not just that she was homeless and alone in the cold. It was her eyes. Even from inside the warm car, he could see that her eyes were bright and hopeful, like stars shining in the darkness. She wasn't crying or begging. She was just sitting there watching the snow fall with a small smile on her face. "Drive," William said when the light turned green. But as they drove away, he kept looking back at the girl in his side mirror. Something about her reminded him of someone, but he couldn't remember who. For the next 3 days, William couldn't stop thinking about the girl on the street corner. Every time he rode past that corner, he looked for her. Sometimes she was there, sometimes she wasn't. But when she was there, she always had that same peaceful look on her face, like she was happy even though she had nothing. On Friday night, it started snowing very hard. The wind was howling like a hungry wolf, and the temperature dropped so low that even the strong men walking on the street were shivering. William was in his car again, riding home from another long day at work. When they reached the corner, William saw the girl again, but this time she was curled up in a ball, trying to stay warm. Her lips were blue from the cold, and she was shaking like a leaf in the wind.
"Stop the car," William said suddenly.
Tom was so surprised he almost forgot to put on the brakes. In 5 years of working for William, his boss had never asked him to stop for anything except business meetings. "Sir?" Tom asked, confused. "Just stop the car," William repeated. William got out of the warm car and walked over to the girl. The snow crunched under his expensive shoes. The girl looked up at him with wide, scared eyes. Most people who stopped to look at homeless people did it to tell them to go away. "What's your name?" William asked. The girl was so surprised that someone was talking to her nicely that she didn't answer at first. "I'm Sophia," she said in a voice as quiet as a whisper. How long have you been living on the street, Sophia? 2 years, she said, looking down at her hands. William felt that strange crack in his heart again, but bigger this time. This girl was just a child, and she had been alone and cold for 2 whole years. Are you hungry? He asked. Sophia nodded slowly. William reached into his coat pocket and pulled out his wallet. He took out all the money he had. It was about $300. Take this, he said, holding out the money. Sophia stared at the money like it was magic. $300 was more money than she had seen in her whole life. I can't take this, she said. It's too much. Take it, William said again. Buy some food. Find a warm place to sleep tonight. Sophia's eyes filled with tears, but they were happy tears. Thank you, she whispered. Thank you so much. As William walked back to his car, something very strange happened. For the first time in 20 years, he felt warm inside. Not warm from the heater in his car, but warm in his heart. It felt good to help someone. It felt like his mother was smiling down at him from heaven. But William pushed that feeling away. He told himself he had just given away some money, nothing more. He told himself it didn't mean anything. However, the feeling wouldn't go away. All weekend, William kept thinking about Sophia. He wondered if she had found a warm place to sleep. He wondered if she had eaten a good meal. He wondered why such a young girl was living alone on the streets. On Monday morning, William did something he had never done before. Instead of going straight to his office, he told Tom to drive by the corner where he had met Sophia. She wasn't there. For the next week, William looked for Sophia every day. He began to worry that something bad had happened to her. The streets were dangerous, especially for a young girl alone. Then on the following Friday, William saw her again. But this time she looked different. She was wearing new clothes, a warm winter coat, clean jeans and boots with laces. Her hair was washed and braided. She was standing outside a small restaurant, and she was smiling at everyone who walked by. William told Tom to stop the car. He got out and walked over to Sophia. "You look well," he said. Sophia's face lit up like the sun. "Mr. Harrison," she said, "I was hoping I would see you again." William was surprised she remembered his name. He was even more surprised that she seemed happy to see him. "I got a job," Sophia said proudly. "I work in this restaurant, washing dishes and cleaning tables. The owner, Mrs. Garcia, is very kind. She lets me sleep in the small room above the restaurant, and she feeds me dinner every night." William felt that warm feeling in his heart again. "That's good," he said. "It's all because of you," Sophia continued. "With the money you gave me, I was able to buy these clothes and have enough food to eat while I looked for work. You saved my life." William didn't know what to say. No one had ever told him he saved their life before. "Would you like to come inside?" Sophia asked. "Mrs. Garcia makes the best soup in the city. I could ask her to make some for you." "I have to go to work," William said quickly. But as he walked back to his car, William realized something that shocked him. He had actually wanted to say yes. He had wanted to sit in that little restaurant and eat soup with Sophia. When was the last time he had wanted to spend time with another person? Over the next few months, William found himself driving by the restaurant more and more often. Sometimes he would see Sophia through the window, working hard and always smiling. She would wave at him when she saw his car, and every time she did, William felt a little less lonely. One day in March, William finally went inside the restaurant. It was small and warm, with red checkered tablecloths and the smell of fresh bread in the air. Sophia was so happy to see him that she clapped her hands. "Mrs. Garcia," she called. "This is Mr. Harrison, the man I told you about." A short, round woman with kind eyes came out of the kitchen. She looked at William with curiosity. "So you are the man who helped our Sophia," she said. "She talks about you every day." William felt embarrassed. "I just gave her some money." "Money is not what saved her," Mrs. Garcia said wisely. "It was kindness. It was seeing her as a human being instead of just a problem to ignore." William stayed for lunch that day. Sophia sat with him when she had breaks from work, and they talked about many things. William learned that Sophia loved to read books and that she wanted to go to college someday to become a teacher. She learned that William had built his company from nothing and that he worked very hard every day. But the most important thing that happened that day was that William laughed, really laughed, for the first time in 20 years. Sophia told him a funny story about a cat that came to the restaurant every day and tried to steal fish from the kitchen. When William laughed, Sophia smiled so big that her whole face lit up. "You should laugh more, Mr. Harrison," she said. "You look much happier when you laugh." After that day, William started visiting the restaurant once a week, then twice a week, then almost every day. He began to think of Sophia like the daughter he never had. She was smart and kind and full of dreams for the future. William decided to do something that surprised everyone, including himself. He started a scholarship program at the local college, specifically for young people who had been homeless. The first scholarship went to Sophia so she could study to become a teacher like she had always dreamed. But William didn't stop there. He began to remember his mother's words about helping others. He started giving money to shelters for homeless people. He built a free kitchen where anyone who was hungry could come and eat. He even smiled at his employees and started saying good morning and thank you. The newspapers stopped calling him the Iron King. Instead, they called him the Heart of Gold. Sophia was so grateful for everything William had done that she worked harder than any student in the college. She got the best grades in all her classes. Every week, she would visit William in his office and tell him about what she was learning. "I'm going to be the best teacher ever," she would say, "and it's all because you believed in me." William felt proud of Sophia, prouder than he had ever felt of making money or building his company. Watching her succeed was better than any treasure in the world. But then, on a sunny day in September, something happened that would turn William's world upside down. Sophia came to his office like she did every week, but this time she looked different. She looked nervous and scared, like she had something important to tell him but didn't know how to say it. "Mr. Harrison," she said, sitting in the chair across from his big desk, "I need to ask you something very important." "Of course," William said. "You can ask me anything." Sophia took a deep breath. "I've been thinking about my past a lot lately, about my family and where I came from. I never told you much about it because it was too painful to remember." William leaned forward. In all the months he had known Sophia, she had never talked about her family or how she had ended up on the streets. "My mother died when I was 14, Sophia continued. "Before she died, she told me something about my father. She said he was a businessman in the city, but she never told me his name. She said she had loved him very much, but they couldn't be together because he was too focused on his work." William felt a strange chill run down his spine. "She gave me this before she died," Sophia said, reaching into her bag. She pulled out a small silver locket. It was old and tarnished, but William could see there was something engraved on the front. "Would you look at this and tell me what you think?" Sophia asked, handing him the locket. William's hands shook as he took the locket. When he looked at the engraving on the front, his heart stopped beating. There, in tiny letters that were almost worn away, were the initials WH plus MS. William Harrison plus Maria Santos. The locket fell from William's hands and clattered on his desk. Maria Santos. He remembered that name. He remembered a beautiful woman with kind eyes and long brown hair. He remembered falling in love with her when he was just starting his business. He remembered being so busy with work that he didn't have time for love. He remembered her leaving, and he remembered being too proud to follow her. But he had never known she was pregnant. He had never known she had his child. "Mr. Harrison," Sophia said, worried by the look on his face. "Are you okay?" William stared at Sophia with new eyes. The brown hair, the kind eyes. The way she smiled, the way she never gave up hope, even when everything seemed impossible. She looked just like Maria. She looked just like the woman he had loved and lost 25 years ago. "Where did you get this locket?" William asked in a voice that shook like leaves in the wind. It was my mother's, Sophia said. Her name was Maria Santos. She said my father's name started with W and that he lived in a tall building that touched the sky. She said he was the most successful man in the city, but that success had made him forget how to love. The rooms spun around William like a tornado. Everything was connected now. The reason Sophia's eyes had seemed familiar. The reason he had felt such a strong need to help her. The reason she had brought light back into his dark world. Sophia was his daughter. His own daughter had been living on the streets, cold and hungry, while he sat in his warm office counting money. But just as William opened his mouth to tell Sophia the truth, his office door burst open. His assistant, Mrs. Johnson, ran in with a look of panic on her face. "Mr. Harrison," she gasped, "you need to come quickly. There's been an accident."